Okay, welcome everybody to the 4D Method 4D user group. Today is September 20th, 2023. This is meeting number 67 for those of you that are playing the 4D Method game at home. On our agenda today, we're going to talk a little bit again about what the 4D Method user group is. We'll cover a little bit about our upcoming user presentations and open dates for your upcoming presentation of your applications out there. We'll get a review of the 4D Happy Hour from Kirk Brooks, get a little bit of news, a little bit of a big news from 4D from Jim Sobczak. We'll talk a little bit about the recent Codely release that happened. That's kind of the elephant in the room here. We'll take a look at a couple of recent knowledge base articles, and then we'll have our special topic presenter, Protée sarl, tools and code introspection for developers from Olivier Grimbert. So my name is Brent Raymond. I do my best to organize these user group meetings. Our user group site is at 4dmethod.com and can be reached at 4dmethod@gmail.com. I've been developing 4D since the 90s in a variety of different industries, and I just have a real passion to see what other people are doing with 4D out there in the world. So started this online user group to bring together the scattered community of developers and users around the world, and other things mentioned here, like providing fresh new content outside of summits and in-person meetings. We like to share new programming techniques. The 4D language itself is constantly changing, and all of our applications are constantly adapting to the new capabilities of the environment. So it's neat to see how everyone is leveraging the new features, and just to see where 4D is deployed in the world and what it's doing. There's a story behind every one of these applications, and it's just kind of fun to get some background and take a look at what can be done with 4D. A lot of great ideas out there. Our user group is supported by, in part by our Patreon supporters. I'd like to welcome our new Mitarbeiter, new coworker, Guy Algot from Canada. He's our newest supporter in Patreon. Take a look at the different levels of Patreon support that you can commit to, and play different roles in supporting the user group and helping to make this happen and keep it happening for everybody. This is your group. It's, like I mentioned, it's an opportunity to show off your work, your application, your product, just some things you've been working on. As long as it's 4D related, everybody here is all ears. It's an easy crowd, so definitely take a look at 4dmethod.com/schedule for upcoming dates and open dates. We'll have the dates set soon for 2024, but we're looking forward to our next meeting on November 15th, where it's the first meeting right after the 4D Summit. We're still deciding if it's going to be a special presenter or just kind of a recap of what we all saw at the summit, which is going to be a whole lot of material. We'll talk a little bit about that a little bit later. But there's always we're all inundated, flooded with information at these summits, so it's good to kick back and take a look at it one more time. You can also, instead of doing it live, feel free just to record a short demo of some things that you've done, different uses, different structures of code, different interface techniques, and we can post it on the website. I think that pre-recorded things are just as groovy as trying to do it live and stumbling through it like I do. So anyways, take a look at the schedule at 4dmethod.com/schedule. And now I'm just going to hand it over to Kirk to talk a little bit about the 4D Happy Hour that happens each week.
Well, thank you very much, Brent. And I'd like to say hello to everyone. Remind you about what 4D Happy Hour is. We convene every Friday afternoon at 3:30 Pacific Daylight Time. Generally, the meetings go on anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours, sometimes even longer when we really get up ahead of steam and people are really interested in things. It is an informal, casual setting. And most of all, it's, I really encourage you to drop in sometime if you have a particular problem that you're working on, or some new thing that you want some opinions on, or you want to talk about how to do something. Most recently, you may have noticed some of the postings on the forum. Last Friday's meeting was particularly helpful for me in resolving some what would we say, formalizing and really completing my understanding of how launch external process and system workers interact with a shell, and then how that is how you use that to actually be able to run things. Like in my case, Node, I was just having a heck of a time understanding why I could run it perfectly well in the terminal, and I simply could not get either a lep command or a system worker to do the same thing. There's a good explanation about that that Bruno Legay offered, and frankly, that was just a great example too. I think we spent about an hour of the group just kind of working through, trying various things and working the problem until we actually came to a solution. And somebody else mentioned that afternoon too, that's just one of the cool things that you can do at 4D Happy Hour, is bring in a problem and get a bunch of people working on it. And like as not, we are going to come to a solution at some point. So, really, I encourage you to come in and say hello, just, hang out, participate in the conversation, and learn a little bit more about 4D and interact with some of us directly. Here, let me post the Zoom link here in the chat. You can just bookmark that, and I hope to see you there.
Thanks, Kirk. Yeah, it's the cheapest price you can get for a room full of 4D programmers. That's for sure. It's to help sort through one of your problems, or any problem or not, suggestions on how to do things, or just talking about the business of being a developer. There's always a boisterous, very busy conversation going on in the 4D Happy Hour. So thanks, Kirk.
Happy to do it.
And now over to Jim to talk a little bit about what's going on with 4D. Is anything happening with 4D right now, Jim?
A little bit, Brent. Thank you. And greetings, everyone. Welcome from the 4D team here. Many thanks to Brent for organizing these 4DMethod meetings and for inviting us to participate. I know Ad and I really get a lot of enjoyment out of doing these, so thank you, Brent. We're looking forward to Olivier's presentation on tools and code introspection for developers. Sounds like a really interesting topic, so we're definitely going to hang out for that. Yeah, just something, Brent. We have a little conference coming up in less than 2 weeks now, the 4D Summit. I'm going to keep my part of this presentation brief, but I do want to talk about this summit. That's where all our focus is right now at 4D. It's hard to believe that it's less than 2 weeks away. I mean, we've been planning this for so many months, and the months roll by, and the next thing you know, it's like, wow, it's like 2 weeks away. So
coming up fast.
No kidding. We've got a great show planned for everyone. And as those of you who go to summits regularly know, this is going to be our first summit since 2018. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you there. Just a reminder, a little bit about the details. October 3rd and 4th are the dates, Tuesday and Wednesday, in the beautiful city of Atlanta, Georgia, one of my favorite cities. We've had the summit there before and had a great time. This time we've chosen a really unique setting at the Emory University Conference Center and Hotel. It's about 15 minutes outside of downtown proper Atlanta. I think 25 acres of this gorgeous property there they have, and a great place for the summit and for our party there on Tuesday night. So we're looking forward to taking advantage of everything that hotel has to offer. So it should be great. We have a really excellent lineup of 4D master classes that will be taught by some of the 4D best experts that we have, including our own Adcom Chair-Ensary, who is on this call now. Ad's master class is entitled Scale Your Web Server. He's told me a little bit about it, and I think it should be a really interesting presentation. And that one is on Tuesday, the first day of the summit, around 5 o'clock or so. And as usual, we'll have our business and technical keynotes, highlighting the product line and share our financial performance over the last few years. And a little hint there, it's been exceptional for us in the sales part of 4D. The technical keynote will be Thomas Maul and Stefan Schaefer, who works with Thomas at 4D Germany, and spoke with Thomas today, and he said he's ready. He's ready to go, doing a lot of rehearsing, and now he's just ready to let the lion out of the gate. So it should be really interesting. And then, of course, we'll learn what Codely and Codely Studio are all about. That was the thing I mentioned at our last meeting here, our last 4DMethod meeting, that we couldn't really talk about there, but now it's been released, Codely. And the first masterclass right out of the gate after the keynote will be about Codely Studio. And that is Marie-Sophie and Matthew Ferry, who both are just excellent presenters. I've seen their demos on Codely Studio. They're really good and informative and flow really well. I think you'll really get a lot of pleasure out of seeing what Codely and Codely Studio are all about. And that'll be right after the keynote on the very first day. But the summit is, in addition to the master classes, of course, and in our keynote, it's all about networking with your colleagues, in my humble opinion, seeing your other 4D developers who you may not have seen for a while, live or in person. We've hooked up a lot of developers with companies that come to the summit, so there's all kinds of opportunities there to expand your knowledge of 4D, among other things. And don't forget, our own Brent Raymond will be the master of ceremonies at this ceremony, at this summit. And we were looking forward to having Brent in Chicago, but of course we couldn't do that summit. So now he's agreed to be the MC of this summit. So that will be great, and he's always great to have up on stage. So thank you, Brent, for doing that. And if you haven't signed up, there's still time to sign up. I mean, we still have 10 days or so. There's plenty of time, and you can sign up right there at the door if you're interested, but there's still plenty of time to do that. Summit.4d.com. And for our European colleagues on this call, the Paris Summit will be exactly 2 weeks later, October 17th and 18th. Same information, but of course, some of the tracks will be in French, and some will be in English, but it's the same master classes, and the keynote will be similar as well. So we have a couple of 4D developers from the US going to Paris. France has a few 4D developers coming to Atlanta. So it's always good to kind of mix the two up there. So that's it about the summit. The agenda is on summit.4d.com if you want to see which particular masterclass is being presented at what time and on which day. You can see what time the parties are. You can sign up if you want to. But anyway, summit.4d.com is the place to go. I think, and the only other topic I wanted to bring up today was what I do every meeting at 4DMethod is training. So keep your eye on the on-demand training site at 4d.com and at store.4d.com, where you can actually buy the training material there and watch at your leisure when you have time. But we have a lot of interesting training opportunities coming up starting next week, actually, and on into Q4. Next week, there's a class on how to implement a user class in 4D. User Class 101 is what it's entitled, and that's on September 27th. So if you go to story.4d.com and you click on demand training, you can sign up there for it. So I think that's it for me, Brent. Thank you for the opportunity to plug the summit again. I've been plugging it for a while now. but I
Yeah.
really appreciate it, and I think it's worth it. It's a great event, as those of you who go know. It's just a fantastic event, and looking forward to seeing everyone.
Yeah, thanks, Jim. And I'm excited to see everybody, at least in Atlanta. As Jim mentioned, I was going to also present in when it was going to be in Chicago in 2020, and we all know what happened in 2020. So I live in Chicago, so if unfortunately it can't be in the town where I live, it's now going to be in the town where I grew up.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In my old stomping ground there, I get to host one way or another in a home city. So yeah, so it'll be good to see everybody there. I invite everybody to come. If you haven't been to a 4D Summit, at least in the past couple of years, this one's for you. And I think we've all been excited to see each other in person, and it's just a different effect than doing Zoom calls. It's at least fun to catch up, and there'll be obviously a lot of exciting material that'll be covered, not only the master classes, but it'll be neat to see Codely and the plan for Codely moving forward. As we all know, 4D has been working with our releases for rolling out features in 4D. I don't think they'll do anything short of that for Codely as well. So there's some very exciting things, I'm sure, around the corner for the Codely environment. And as I've mentioned in the past, since there's no community presentations in the summit, this is the place to do it. If you have any ideas, things you were excited about sharing at the summit, just pull me aside, let me know what you're thinking, and we can get a date set up for next year for your presentation. But yeah, the biggest announcement obviously is Codely. Codely Studio is for working directly for hosting web applications easily, hosting and developing web applications directly from the interact straight out of your 4D database. As it's built, it's a hybrid low-code solution exclusively tailored for web browser-based business applications. That's a mouthful, but it makes putting a web front end on your business application a whole lot easier. Right. And so we've got also they have an additional offering for the cloud where you don't specifically need to have an existing 4D application. You can host your new Codely application directly from the cloud. Launch, set up several applications, monitor it all directly from a cloud interface, and deploy and scale from the cloud. So it's real exciting. Honestly, there's a lot to learn with all of the new terrain with Codely, and I'm excited to learn about it, and excited to see you all at the 4D Summit. So thanks again, Jim, for covering the news from 4D. Obviously, there's a lot of news. Just being coy with saying there wasn't much going on, obviously. So they're all hard at work and getting ready to see all of us in Atlanta and Paris. So and then speaking of people who are hard at work, Ad and his team are always hard at work bringing up tech notes and tech tips for the knowledge base. And he's here to talk with us about a couple of their latest great write-ups.
All right, thanks, Brent. As usual, I just want to remind everybody that Tech Notes, it's exclusively available on the knowledge base, as well as if you are partners, you get your first chance to take a look at those Tech Notes 1 year ahead of everyone else. So it's usually something that you want to take a look at, because we're trying to promote not only the new technology in 4D, but how to use them in a productive ways. So for this month, we are going to focus on the previous two tech notes from August. So the first one is about classes, specifically in order and function. It's never enough content, I don't think, to cover in terms of using order or working with classes. And now that we have a new techno that covers how to use functions extended from data class or entity, those are the ways, something that you want to start looking at it, because it's going to make your programming and your application implementation put together in a more elegant way, right? If you have used classes before, you understand what it does, and the function inside is usually very self-contained. It does specific to what the scope is. And this tech notes kind of give you several examples, different ways to use class from order perspective. Another good, really great, actually, this one is a great tech note that talks about CSS. For those of you who start to convert your application from binary to project mode, you're going to be seeing some big changes in terms of style sheets. And we covered this in the past as well. I did a presentation in the previous summit. So this particular tech note covers almost all aspects of CSS usage in a project mode application. Over the course of different iteration and revision of 4D, there's some slight changes in CSS support in 4D as well. So Chana is one of our tech staff, is able to put together really great content, cover all the aspect on how to use classes, and be able to expose some of the things that you have to know in terms of dealing with CSS in 4D in the context of 4D. So again, this is another great tech note. Have a look at it. So hopefully you'll be able to learn something from it and then apply to your own application. All right. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Ad. Yeah, those are both great articles. I have to say, there was one of the 4D online trainings for understanding how to use the data classes. It's not just the user, the custom classes that you can make, but really understanding the data classes and the sort of hierarchy of how that fits into a 4D application, and working in a object-oriented way with your data is just a real game changer. So it's very important to at least, if nothing else, start with one of these articles if you haven't started working with data classes and understanding how that fits into your application flow. And obviously the CSS is also important for all of us, for the way that you can leverage it in 4D is there's definitely some interesting aspects to that are worth understanding. So thanks again, Ad, and appreciate your covering the recent great work in the knowledge base. And now over to our special topic here. We have Olivier Grimbert joining us from Toulouse, France. And fresh back from his latest tour in India. So thank you for doing this. Hopefully you don't have too much jet lag.
No.
But Olivier was born into a musical household, his father being an orchestra conductor. Olivier himself learned to sing opera, play piano and the organ. Maybe we'll get a sample of the opera later. I'm not sure. Don't know what he has in store for us. But since the age of 18, however, he turned his attention to the world of computers, creating hardware, working with operating systems and programming languages. He came to teach product design at ENSCI, a design school. I'll give it a try. École Nationale Supérieure de Création Industrielle. The National Higher School of Industrial Creation in Paris, I believe. Over time, Olivier developed a reputation for ergonomics, user interface, user experience, and creativity for his projects. And then he brought that experience to 4D in 1992, building a database for the first home shopping TV channel in France. That must have been an interesting scene. He developed more than 30 products and management tools for 4D, such as applications for orchestras, music schools, a yoga federation, Mont Blanc, not the mountain, I suppose, the company.
Yeah, Mont Blanc is writing pen, pencil.
Yeah, the pens, the very expensive pens.
Yeah, exact.
And today Olivier is here to make 4D music with us and tell us about his company, Protée, SARL, and show us a couple of the 4D components that they offer for developers. So welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Brent. So I'm supposed to share my screen right now.
I will hand it over to you. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm able to now. Yes. Yeah, okay. I can't see anything everywhere. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm ready.
Can see
okay, so let's say hello to everyone. And many thanks for you, Brent, for doing all of it possible and give us a possibility to exchange about our works.
Thank you.
And yeah, so its presentation is directly from India. I will try to have a correct pronunciation. And so today I will speak about OG Tools Suite, and specifically OG Dev Tools means for development, because there are some products also just for development and for deployment. So I discovered the word of component in 2018, something like that. And I realized, because I have more than just one product, but probably 20, yeah, say 30, but I don't know. But so a lot of products, and they all get a generic soil, as you can see on B. And it's always difficult to make updates to all the product. You have to copy and to change one by one the method, so it's not that good. So I began to go inside this, making some framework. So what is this? So it is to, you have a complexity here. And when you have a solution without framework, the complexity is just at a high level. So it's difficult to maintain, to forget the complexity. So when you use component, then you dig the complexity at a very low level. And each component, when it works, it works. Sometimes you improve it, but when it works, it works. But everyone is convinced, I'm sure. So then you just have to focus on how do you say, a target specific needs. And all what is dig is the most generic as possible. So it's also a game. It's very funny to develop that way. I decided to jump the gap between, V18 R5 to R6 and not to maintain any R5 product anymore. So now you can use all these components from R6, and then you will be able to go to V20 probably for a long time. So I will speak very fast about 4D pop components. They are all free stuff and goodies. And very shortly, OG pop is a 4D pop fork. And why? Because I wanted to get some reverse sort. So let's show you. This has to be hidden. Yeah. Let's go inside the database. Yeah. So you see, when you have this OG pop, there is another option like invert sort. So if that's a normal 4D pop component, so it's okay, but you know, 4D is always before, because 4D SVG, 4D constant, and so on. So that's why I added this option to have a reverse sort. So then I can hide 4D.
I think there's a display issue. Sometimes it's showing, there we go. Whatever you're doing right now, it's actually showing the code or the application.
You are not seeing any palette?
No, it's strange.
Oh.
Yeah.
So perhaps I will, okay, I'll do something. How it is now?
No.
You don't have the screen?
But if you hover maybe over the palette, oh, now we can see it. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so now you can see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you know the 4D, you can see the palette?
Yes.
Okay. So the 4D component, 4D pop component are after, because I added this inverse sort. So that's the original sort, and that's the inverse. So also the goal was to add plenty of icon everywhere for the position. The skin are still there. So it's something like the same, but a little better.
It's nice that that the 4D pop libraries were made open source, so that this kind of branching was possible.
Yeah, exact. So I think now, yeah. So that is 4D pop, so better interface. And to use 4D pop, you need also to let, let's see if it's okay for you. You need to let also 4D pop to use OG pop, because there are some library for preferences. And if you want all the plugin, all the other components, 4D components that works, you need to get also 4D pop on the same folder. So then OG resource body. So why? My first attempt was to get a global search, because when you have plenty of button icons, you know, you don't have any search. The search is only in the one folder, only the one where you are. So I wanted this, and then I fully finished all the commands that were not finished inside the 4D product, like copy, duplicate folder, and things like that. It works in client server, so everything is done on server. So that's a component, 4D pop component. Sorry, OG resource browser. So here you will see a search. If I tap GIR, I will see all the folder where I can find GIR, or next, or what can be tool. Tool is everywhere. So if I click on button, I have a button tool. Emails, I have email tools, and so on. Yeah. So that was the first why I did it, was the goal. So then you have also the possibility, so icon everywhere, the possibility to copy path, content, open, duplicate, and here also you can duplicate a full folder, and everything is working on the server. So by, how do you say, stored method execution.
Stored procedure, yeah.
Stored procedure, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So this is also open source. So if, I mean, you can have the source code of it. And the last one is about OG rulers. So why I did it, I just wanted to have some menu directly here, because the initial product, because the initial product, when you click, it opens an horizontal ruler without any question. So I wanted to be able to choose an horizontal or vertical, and then have all the options inside the menu. So if I ask for vertical ruler, so it works the same. You can change, you can go to horizontal, vertical. You have the option to have a rectangle simulation. The rectangle are there, and you can also remove, delete guideline, and that's all. So you will have all this is available. The only thing is not for code reference because I did it 3 years ago. So it doesn't use any file and folder new methods, and it doesn't use object and things like that. So it's old code. It's just if you want to have something, but it works perfectly on R6 or V20. Any question?
Can we ask questions?
Yeah, please.
Okay. You mentioned that the resources buddy works with 4D server.
Yeah.
Why? Because
it works
the
also in monopost.
The future is supposed to be, we're not going to do 4D team developer, 4D server developers not going to be here. We're all going to work on our own little machine with all of our local files and then use Git to merge everything together. So I thought 4D server team developer was the head product for the future. Is it coming back?
They brought it back, yeah. You can.
Is it no longer deprecated, going away? Is it a supported thing now? When did this happen? This is good news.
hey, I did it 3 years ago or 4 years ago. That's why, Tim.
Yeah.
And also it works also in monopost. You can use it as in a monopost server on your platform. It's just the information, you can use it in all client server way. That's all. Yeah, sure.
Standalone too, yeah. But yeah, Tim, they did. They actually made that possible again. Yeah.
Yeah, also. Yeah.
Works a little different.
I thought it was just an interim thing, though. I didn't think it was, we're going to support it long term. This was just to get these people over the hump. This is the sharing of the project folder feature, right, Brent? The idea of share the project feature folder and then it'll lock everything. Okay.
I believe so, yeah.
I was afraid I missed out on some extra tidbit from 4D about the status of team developer, because everything gets deprecated at some point in time. If you think through the 30 years of doing 4D development work, everything that's been built has gotten deprecated at some point and replaced with something else.
Yeah, the smart move is into project mode using Git, right? That's right.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and at that time also the document list one day got bugged with because initially it was sorted, and even in 4D, if you open the where it is, if you just open this window and if you ask for the resources, you will see it is not sorted. Nothing is sorted. And it is because probably internally they use this document list, but they didn't correct to add the sort array after that. So I decided to have this product to have everything perfectly sorted.
Yeah.
So that's all. Then you have a preview. And also it works not only for pictures, but for everything you have, like XML, JSON, and
That's nice to have a different option for browsing the resources.
Yeah. And when you use it, after you put a finger in it, you're full in it. For me, so that's sure, for sure. Okay, so that's all the stuff, and you will see also, I won't speak about it today, but it is a SVG editor in a web area. It's a component. You have the source code, and it is based on SVG method draw. Method draw is a web-based SVG editor. So you have this component also with the source code. So it's an implementation. It works very well. Everything is inside, even the path and everything.
Are you going to do a quick demo of SVG editor or not?
Do you want it?
60 seconds.
Just very quick.
60 seconds, 1 minute.
Okay. So 50 seconds, I can do it. So I put the timer on. So probably the test is there. Yeah. So you have it. So SVG set. So then you can get the SVG. So here it's an editor, so you can open. 60 seconds, it's okay. Huh? You have seen. I don't know how to use it properly, but you can change remove, add a line, everything is there. And then you can get the SVG back. So by, the button is just to show you how to speak to this editor and to collect back the SVG data. And you can know if it's had been modified or not. Not modified, don't know why. Probably there is a reason. It's a demo effect. Okay.
I'm sure it's very interesting to see how it works with the web area as well for the implementation of the SVG editing library. That's probably the biggest thing there. Yeah.
But you don't need to have a web server, a 4D web server. It just works because with a file in the resource and with a 4D web area.
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah. So this is open source too. You're able to open it. OG Notarized is there. It's not very interesting because it's something rewritten for MiICO product he had to make notarization. But it's still old. It doesn't use a new notary tool, so there is no interest. Just if you want to have a look for some barber or some icons and some stuff in it, that's all. Okay. Any question or?
No.
Yeah. So I will speak about OG Dev Tools, composed by OG Qualific, OG Dev Tools, and OG Make. So OG Qualific is just a Protée license manager. Wow, what's happened? Yeah. So it's a Protée license manager. And also it gives some command library, very useful for beep sounds, error sounds, generic sounds, when you can change them. If you ask, for example, if you use a method to make a beep sound or error sound or warning sound, you can put it in all your development, and then you can change in this component what sound is it. So you can generically change to all your database or have some preference files for your customer. OG DevTools, I will speak about it. And OG Make is something to get a full make process in one click, included all what is a sign. Why sign again? Because 4D is very sympathetic to give, very kind to give us a way to sign directly when you build. But the problem is if you have to add some other folder like the web folder, if you want to add some new PDF, then it is unsigned. So I use the same SH file in 4D to make a new sign. So then after that, ditto, so disk image, DMG or zip, and then to create, to make some stuff like adding a web folder, remove some file, no interesting files, and then to make to send to Apple Notary system, upload, waiting for with a system worker, so totally asynchronous, so with a beautiful progress bar. And at the end, it is notarized and it is finished, staple, and you get it in one click. So when you develop with component, it's just amazing because you have to compile very often. So we'll see. So let's go into OG Dev Tools. Where am I supposed to go? Yeah. So here is the icon in OG Pop. This one.
Oh, that's nice. So it's OG, integrated into Pop. Yeah.
Yeah, it is integrated in Pop. So here is a high-level integration. So I will show you before the low-level integration. For that, I will open a database I shared. You will be able to download this one. Yeah. Oh, sorry. This one. So this database is just one goal. It is to open this one. So I will start. Choose methods. So it displays all the methods I need. And those methods is why I did it. It's because of DevTools, we modify the method. I wanted to have a short, very quick way to reload, restore the method from templates, from resource, and save to template. Then so that's for me. This is for if I want to change some of them, then I'm able to restore for the original state. So let's see what we'll do with that one. I open this method. It's a simple method with another old way to have no declare in it. So here, if I go to OG Dev Tools, I will have the macro menu, super. Yeah, here is the macro menu. So this is common for OG Dev Tools. So you have actions. I will have a look. Then space, method local, documentation, some inline function, and insert emoji very quickly for my own selection. But I think as a programmer, I decided to embed all this. So let's see those actions. Before using it, I will explain all those actions. Those actions are usable directly from here. You know, all these actions will be available on method locals on a batch way of action. So you can do something on your database for all the methods you select. But now we will just have a look how to do it for one method. So for example, I can ask, so I will open like that, this one, sorry, deprecated. So what is deprecated? You know, auth string, this one, or old array string, enable button, disable button, and so on. So if I open OG DevTools, then I can say convert. This is easy. I can ask also for array string. You can see. I can ask enable button to enable. Okay, true false, perhaps you have a better way then to correct your code. But I can do it automatically for sure. But it prepares. So if you do that, you know, everywhere, you're sure your code will work. So you can do in a batch. You can change everything in one click. Not here, but I will show you later. So then also you can, that's all for this method. Okay. The second thing you can do, it's about, where it is. This one. You want to convert all the syntax, say longuant, C text, C object, whatever you want to var, variable. So for that, I will open something with only C, well, all of this. But this is not as simple as it seems to be, because this one doesn't have to be, need not to be changed. Because it is something related, you know, in V20, you can't put the var syntax anymore. I was very happy to have the var syntax for like this, you know, to be able to, because it's more readable, but it doesn't work in V20 anymore. It was working only in 19. So this has not to be changed because it will detect there is this is a method. It exists in your project method in your database. All of this will be changed. But this one also, you know, see time, because there are some interprocess on the locals. So then this line will be split in two, and then you will have an old syntax for this and a new syntax for the locals. So let's see. OG DevTools, go transform to var, and then you get this. So this has not been changed. This one too. And this has been shared in two lines. And the comment is still there. So that's very easy to change. You know, you can pass all your database, but do a copy before. I don't want to be responsible, but it works. I use it a lot.
That's very handy. Yeah,
Yeah.
The whole declaration way you declare variables for anyone that is unfamiliar with the var syntax. That's the way of the future at this point. Probably won't be long before they start deprecating the old way, the compiler directives. But
But this syntax for me is more readable.
Mhm.
the var syntax.
Yeah.
So that's the one. This one is okay. So then we can do opposite. But even from the same method, I can convert it back to CXXX. So you may ask why. You might ask why. It's because in V20 I had to convert all my method declaration to the old syntax because it doesn't work anymore. So if I convert, yeah, everything is back. But I did it only, for this because I had some converted line, so it was not. I didn't want to do it by hand. So then after, what action you can have? Okay, this one is something very simple, but so which one it is? I don't remember when I put it. I think it's here. Yeah. Very often, you have some macro to declare a method, something at the beginning of your method. And usually you have the name of the method, but what's happened if you rename this method? Here it's the new name, command block, and it was an old name before. So it's very bad because when you open your method, you don't know, you have to think about it. So you have a macro, you can do it also in batch. And if I open, I can say update. So it will look about, a comment, double slash, then everything like method or method in French. I'm able to add some new languages in future if you want. Then it will find for the name what is following, and it will continue to add what is after. So if I do it, then the name has changed to new command block. That's the name of the method. And what was after is still there. And you can do it in batch. This is to remove some OJDev tool if it had some comments about some warning of error, so you want to remove. So this line has been removed, the first one. No, it was here. So you can remove in a batch. And what's more? Okay, so declare scratchpad. That's really beautiful. I will take a complex method with not only one, but some parameters with some tests, if count parameter superior or equal to 5 and so on. So when we want to make a declare, is sometimes, you need a plenty of selection, drag and drop, and you move, and it's not easy. So I added this. Okay, to declare. So all the declaration $n, so $1, $2, $3, to declare it's a scratch pad because you will have to work after that. But look what it will do. It will analyze every affectation to, for example, this VL event colon equal $1, $2. Direct affectation will be detected. So then it will make the yes declare. So you have one line, this one.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
With the correct type. And it detected also that you have a count parameter superior or equal or inferior, and then he will add something to precise to determine that after $5 and after it's optional. That will be very useful for automatic documentation. So then what you have to do, just to check, this one is not needed. This one also I can remove. This one also I can remove. This one, I'll do it quickly. So then, for this one, I want to detect. Okay, so you know what I mean. I'm looking if count parameter is superior or equal to 5. So it means this one is defined. There is a pointer to an array defined. So I will do like this. I will say what can I do?
You can delete the setting of those variables.
I think I can delete everything like that. And if I want to know if there is a $6, this one, it's just if the text is not empty. So this has to go here. Yeah. the affixation and is no more needed. And this has to be removed, that's all. So, you know, you clear your code in such a way, like 15 lines, it's just 3 lines. And I remove at the end this affectation because now it is at the end here. So it's very easy to transform one method to declare. Then, if I open a simple one, you will see it's much, much easier. I will say touch, scratch pad. Okay, so I just have to remove this, and to say VL value no is defined in the JS declare, so this is not necessary. That's all. Finish. So this is very helpful.
I do
And what-
appreciate the new declare syntax.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
appreciate it. And what is important also, rather to check if the count parameter is 5, 6, you just check if for pointer of an object of a collection, you just check if it is null.
Right.
So it's much more readable.
Yeah.
And everything is also predefined. So string are empty, long int is 0. So it makes your code much, yeah, you can really reduce plenty of line at the beginning of each method. So here we are. And then if I look, sorry, what is it? Didn't want to do that. Oh, shoot. So then there is another, yeah. Okay, so this is rename. So I will speak about it later because rename is based, you can rename all your local variable based on local space. So you choose a naming convention. So then it will rename everything. It is safe. I'll show you later in the batch itself. But here you can rename the method in one click. Declaration to passboard is interesting because if you are a declare somewhere, I think we put a declare here, but it's better in batch because it's for documentation purpose. If you want to, it will copy all your declaration of all your method you select. So I have only one method. So what is copied is this. That's all. You have the name and you have the declare. So for documentation, you know, just with this, you know what the method is supposed to do. If you name properly your variable. And then last one, it's interesting for the, yeah, that is compiler to one method. So in compiler methods, I have all my method declaration. If I change something, I can send this. It will analyze totally your method. It will make a local table, cross-reference. So then it will know, you know, what are the input and output parameters. It will be based on declare, but it can also be based on $1, dollar toto égale $1, dollar tt égale $2. So if you have direct affectation, it will also detect what are the affectations. So then it will declare your method automatically in. So if I change something, for example, if I decide to remove this, so there is no more, to be very, 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 yeah. Because I have something probably, yeah, let's see. Compiler methods. I'm looking for the pop-up pt and pop-up val. Yeah, it's here. You can see it's here. It has been done by 4D itself. I let it. The system, the action will recognize where it is. We try to put it on the same place, or alphabetically order will be inserted somewhere, and then it will be replaced by the new definition. So for that, I need to close the method for sure. So let's see. It shows all the compiler methods. So I want to put it in that one. I have a little sound, beep. So if I open it, now you can see it's fully less. Only the parameter in the declare. So it's very easy, you know, to report any change to a method when you are in it. You just ask to report to your method. This has not changed, $5, because I didn't change here. Okay, so that's all. Perhaps I will, yeah, put it back again, because who knows if I use it. Yeah, I think I use it here. Okay, so then let's see. I think we finished the action menu. Yeah, we finished the action menu. So now you have a space. You can select a space, and we will show it in the action global component action menu. So you can choose a space for a naming convention for your locals. You can choose a space for what you guess, how the system will guess seeing the variable, how it is written, and what target you want to change any name. So this is same method locals. You know, it will analyze this method. So this is analyze. I have two undefined variable locals, and I have plenty of non-used, because it is in yellow, locals, and I have some green. That's the number of occurrence. So 1 means not used because it is declared. So there is just one declaration. What is interesting, you can rename all these variables. It proposes a new name based off a target naming convention. So perhaps let's have it a little later when we'll see. I prefer to finish the low level for one method, and then we will go on the high level, what is supposed to be used. And what is more there? Yeah, so method documentation, same, we will see it on the batch menu. So method documentation, it just open a documentation for that method. Nothing is done. Then you have a clear and hide. You have plenty of tags, 8 tags, but I will speak about it also later. So let's see, in one click, I generate a full documentation with all the locals. So the name of the variable, if it is a parameter or not, the type with an icon on a type. Then if something is okay or something is wrong, but it's not defined, you remember, two were not defined, so you can see it. And the description. So what is interesting is if I change something in the description, it will stay even if we refresh, if you renew, because before I will pass this everything in it. I will take what is written on the description. I will put it back on the new generation if you update this this thing.
This is a nice markdown editor.
Yeah. So this is not simple. You know, there is one name is simple MDE. It's not that one because it's still not maintained. It is not maintained anymore. So I use a new one. I forgot the name, but I will remember. I can have a look, you know, if you want to know.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Yeah. Which one? So probably it is written on the back then. Yeah, no. So which one is it? Resources. Markdown. Markdown, which one it is? But it is not written. Well, it is somewhere, but
yeah, it's nice.
Easy MDI, MDI.
MDE, yeah.
Yeah, MDE, sorry, easy MDE. Yeah.
Nice.
So there is a GitHub for that. So and also what is better if there is a bug in the simple MDE, and sometime when it displays, it froze. So you just have to quit your application. You have no other way. Everything is frozen. So this one worked perfectly.
Nice.
So
nice.
Perhaps you will have a look later. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
So this, what's more? So this is also interesting for this method documentation. You won't have it. Yeah, you will have it also in the batch interface, but it is the possibility to add some tags like, okay, I want to say, I want the parameter tag, the description, not the report. This will in fact override the global preferences for when you generate your documentation. So you can also lock it. if you don't want anyone be able to change your documentation in a batch, it's very important. Because in the batch, you change your, then you adjust your documentation. It's very important to lock it for the batch treatment, not to erase and change something you don't want to modify. And then also you can have a preference for your space. For this one will be another, how many hashtag you want, how many parameter per line. So then if I enable it, I have a new line, like for 4D, but it is % magic doc. So then you have an object. And this is readable. Ah, shit. Yeah, sometimes if something is selected, I have an error. So you can go back to this inline and you can see all what is here, in fact. So it's an editor for the first line. First or second, I mean at the beginning. Like, you know, 4D, to say if it is invisible, shared, and so on. 4D is added this kind of comments.
Right, for flagging what is preemptive capable.
Yeah, exactly. All the properties, in fact.
It's an interesting approach to, you know, extending their declaration line.
Yeah. So it's to add some, parameters, but you have a global parameters for your database, but you can, and in fact, the main goal of this line was just for this, unlocked or locked, because that's very important to be able to lock. So then after you generate your method documentation, you work on it after for 15 minutes, half an hour. You don't want to be erased by a new update. So I think that's all for this macro. Yeah, emoji, we saw it. Huh? If I go there, I go to emoji, I want to have the heart. So it's there, that's all. So it's an easy way to tag your method. And it's so important, specifically for that one. Please have a look later. Okay, do you have any question or?
No, does anybody have any questions? You can always add them in the chat as well. And we can try and speak to those. But yeah, no, nothing right now.
Okay.
It is nice to be able to use emojis in the code and Unicode characters and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go for the main. So I restore all my methods, so it's okay for the next trip. Okay, so let's go into this main pop-up menu. First, I will speak about Jnanam. So Jnanam in Tamil, Indian language, means knowledge, wisdom. So I have Jnanam and Jnanam Gat. So it's not written here, so nobody cares. But one is for DB Explorer, the second one is for DBS Explorer. What it is supposed to do for DB Explorer also, it's like a new Explorer, but there is a main added functionalities is when you want to deal with something related. So this is too little. I will go in a big database for that. This one was before. Let's open. Okay. So imagine you want to see what is based, about Jnanam. If I tap Jnanam, what you can see is all the methods and all the forms. So you are all in one. So if an explorer with a search bar. That's all. That's the first thing. So I want to be able to, okay, because usually you remember there is Jnanam somewhere, but you don't know if it's at the beginning, at the end, so it's difficult to find out. Same for so you will have everything. If I want to think something about scales, same. I will my project form, my table forms. So that's one. I'm not able to, this one open. So you can open by double click, same, like an explorer. So I can also open that method and so on. So the second thing is also you have your table and field. But the most important is you are able to, yeah, no, not the most important. Now you are also able to have a right click on it. So you can edit items at the same, it's open the method. You can edit the documentation. So it uses what you saw. So it's already generated, so you can change it or read it. You are able to, for the item to show on disk. So it's easy way to go to the method store on disk. Then you can item delete. It will delete the documentation if any. And documentation also show on disk. So then you have your MD file. Oh, okay. Well, wrong app. And you're also able to delete the documentation. And you can also open the method locals if you want to work on all the local, but everything is perfect. You know, everything is green. Just that one is not used. There is an unused variable. We'll see later. Okay, that's the first goal, is to be able to what something here, some preferences. You can say if your search it must start with, contain, end with. No, okay, thing like that. That's all. So this is okay, it's a new Explorer. So, but it's not fully, it won't fully replace 4D Explorer for sure, but some cool features are there. If you had a, you know, keyboard method, you can have your shortcuts. For me, it's Option, Command, Shift, G. So you open it in one shortcut.
Yeah, that's the 4D Explorer. There's been a lot of development in 4D for over the past few years, but not in the 4D Explorer.
Okay.
So it's nice to have new features.
Mm-hmm. But this has been done for something else. This, when you open it, this one is, you know, when it is blue, it means it's my main database. But was it interesting? Because in project mode, you are able to open anything from a remote database. I mean, another target database can be on your disk everywhere, even if it's not launched with a 4D software. Why I did that? I wanted to be able to make some drag and drop for any databases I have in my computer without opening it, because you can't make any drag and drop anymore, drag and drop, so you need to copy the name, then open it, or go to the Finder. So it's not easy. So I decided to do it for that. So let's see. If you have another product open, for example, this one is, the second one I have. No. Yeah. If I also open, I have one here, and I have, where it is? This one is not open. Yeah. So I have two. So I'm able to make some drag and drop from this open in 4DMethod, in a 4DMethod OG, and from OVM. That is the main databases with plenty of table and table form, plenty of table and so on. You can drag and drop table, and you can drag and drop classes, method, project method, and so on. Let's have a look on engine create. Okay, I'll take it. I put on project method. It's there is a source to target. Okay. So it's supposed not to be here. Yeah, engine create.
It's 4D Insider.
Yeah. It's Insider, you right?
Yeah. Nice.
So this is important, something missing. So if I go back to this one, then why I can't see it? Perhaps I have to refresh going out and going back again. Yeah, you know that. You have to go out of the database and then go back in. So it's there. That's the method. So I will remove it now. Okay, so then why not doing something better? If I go inside this, and go back to the other one, this one. So in this, no, sorry. Let's hide this, Okay, so in this main OVM database, I close this. no, this is what you can manage. You have another one that is DBS Explorer. So it means more than one database. So it's a real full insider. So I don't know why. Okay. So I can ask if I click with command, I will ask, please, because it's a component. All of this is a component. So I can ask, please, make it my where I am currently. So this OVM database. Then I want to add before or after. So I will have one. I will say, please add the database I have here, where it is. Yeah, cat demog, this one. You know, the one we saw together. So go back, tuck, tuck. Okay. So, you know, you can have as many you want. And let's open also OG tools. Let's go to OGPOP database, open, and so on. And you can insert in between these two one. So you can manage everything. And you can open that one, and then say, okay, I need, this is 4DMog. This is OGPOP. I will take this 4DPOP up and add it in project method. Tuck. I will take probably also a form, project form, the about form, and I will put it in a form. In project form. So then you will also probably think what's happened if you try to put a table to another one. So if the table is not in the same name, then it will ask you, it will list all the table, and it will ask you which table do you want to put in. So it's insider, yeah, kind of. So this is saved. I mean, if you go back, this is saved in the JSON pref file.
Ah, nice.
Okay.
I really like how you've been able to integrate everything in the 4D pop. You know, it makes it very comfortable, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you say you could copy tables with this?
Yeah. No, not table. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
Only forms, method, classes, trigger, and database method, and startup or so on.
And when you copy a form, it copies the form definition, the form method, all of the methods for all of the objects on the form.
It will copy the folder.
It copies the folder. Okay, so it copies the entire form folder.
Everything.
But it doesn't look inside to see if the methods or the object methods call other methods. It doesn't.
Exact.
It doesn't look down the train like 4D Mover does and tries to copy dependencies. Okay.
Yeah. What is inside is unchanged. So if you have a table like Toto, if you copy to something where Toto doesn't exist, Toto is still inside your code. But what will change, you are able to select in which table form you want to put it, if the table doesn't exist with the same name. But two. So this is, as this is a widget, what you see here, you know, you have to select in your file system where it is. So this product is supposed to manage, this product is supposed to manage plenty of things for make your graphic elements, generate icons, button, and plenty of things generically for all your databases like this. Yeah, you have your button, generate by some option, you select the color you want, for default click over, disable, and so on. So this also manage like this. So because all my database I declared here, so I have these databases, I know the path. You know, this is the path. So I have plenty, you know, I have how many? 31 projects, and they're all declared in the where they are in the machine. So if I open this, I have all the database selected here. This is an example. I can have something different. But if I click here, it will open automatically. And you don't have to do anything. And it is not a path. It is a name. And you can change it. And so it is fully integrated in the database I use for my own development. It's common to all the development. So because it is a widget, you are able to use it by your own and add, you know, this say, oh no, it is not for deep4, I want this database object colors. So it changed, and now everything changed in it. Yeah, that's every method name has changed. So if I go to this one, yeah, it's not the same name. Okay.
Nice.
It's super. It's just analyzing, you know, it's not open. It's somewhere in the disk. It analyzes, and the beauty of project mode. So you know this one is the main where we are because it's blue, and the other one is remote, somewhere on disk. So if I open the method here, it opens the method directly inside this database because I'm in it. But if I open a method here, it will, you know, try to select some software atom, very slow, not good. So we have to change it. Probably we will have some better integration in future. You know, but the method is open with atom. So you have your remote method. You can, yeah, just have a look.
You can work with VS Code now, and
yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I just have to try to integrate it, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you can, you can really play with drag and drop and say what is here in Fio, what is based on a person. Yeah, so you have all the methods, the form. Here, you know, you want to find for scales. So you have also same. So then you are able to drag and drop between them and for one. So it's an easy way to copy from one database to another. So let's finish with Nyanam, wisdom. So that was the first two items of this menu. So let's see, let's go now into methods, local. So it is in plural, methods, and it is a full method manager. So let's go in it. And you will see all your methods here. So you have a progress bar. So it is analyzing all your methods. So then when it will be finished, you will see it's a worker. So you can go on it. But when it is finished, you will see, yes, all those lines now are filled with something. You did for every method, you will see what locals are undefined, not typed, I mean, not typed. What is unused? So in this method, there are 9 unused, all what is yellow, unused locals you can remove. It will be in a click, but it is under process, under progress, sorry. And you have also unnamed means the name doesn't fit to the target space name you choose, you selected. So there is nothing to rename. Yeah, here, for example, there is one. Yeah, you want to rename this one to this. Okay, so it's a syndication. But what is interesting in this interface, you can for sure search what is based on, okay, same, you know, type a name. You can select if it is only triggers. So it's only triggers, class. Okay, so nobody knows. Nobody cares, so I just go a little faster. But what is interesting is this. You have a filter for all the methods that are shared. That's very important. Not shared or idle. Same for invisible. For component, it's so important because you usually want to check if what you shared in your component. And but more than that, you can also select some method, and then you will do a batch action. That's what we will see later on it. And you can also have a look on if it exec on server or not.
That's
For
nice.
me, that's a three important,
Yeah.
button. Then you can also, let's be back. I can also ask for where there is some undefined. So I can have to correct, to go and correct all those methods. It's a filter for unused, and it's a filter for unnamed, badly named, something to rename.
It'd be good to have one for preemptive as well. Preemptive.
Yeah. Okay, I didn't add the use, but that's true. That's true. Let's have a note.
Feature request.
Picture request, yeah, in real time. So from here, you're able to, I don't know, to select some methods. And then you have batch treatment. So you can, all what we see on the macro menu, say string to say text. So you can do it in all in one. You click here, please remove all what is this one, this one, this one, this one, convert to var. This one, no need. Update the names. So if some method or bad name in comments, it will be changed. Remove this. Yeah, that's interesting. Put declare in Scratchpad. I told you it's interesting when you do it in batch. So for documentation, I take this, finish, I go there, and then I copy. I just have one, so it's a mistake. Bug. Yeah, bug. It's supposed to have all the following one by one. Okay, bug. So then, what is interesting also, you can no, sorry, the Scratchpad. No, it's not this. Sorry, forget it. So then what you can do is declare to passport. Yeah, that works. Yeah, okay. So for every method, you will have the declare, but there is nothing in it because it's not a good one. I have to go to some, with definition. So sorry, a declaration to passport. Right. Okay. So you have the declare. So for documentation purpose, it's very easy. You just have to type something and that's all. Then what you can do, you can also decide to put all the declaration inside your compiler method. And you can go, this one is for generic method, so I will go here for generic method. So it will be added or it will replace what is still already existing in it. So then you have the magic doc generator to generate the magic doc automatically for all the selected method, and attribute set also. If I want all of this set to invisible, I just have to go on or off. So then, up, finish. Invisible is there. But I will put it back again. Invisible off. So that's also very easy to change for components. It's very important to be able to display, to check, and to change.
Mm-hmm.
So I propose to watch. This database is too clean. Yeah, perhaps it's too clean. I don't know. So let's go to another one. So now here I will open the same interface, methods locals, with very few methods. So that is better. Okay, that's much better. Here you will see command block, there is one error. Signal is not defined. It's not an error, sorry, it's undefined. Sorry, so signal is not defined. There is 4 unused locals, and there is 4 locals to be renamed to fit this target naming convention. So if you want to declare, it detected automatically it is an object because I added some favorite here. So signal is defined. So when we find some $signal, it's automatically considered it's an object. So I can declare just for command D, puff, declared. So now it is there. For the renaming, what you can do is to ask, so I will put command R for rename. Everything is renamed to the convention based on this is integer. Okay, then I save. And the method is saved. You can see there is no more where it is. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't know where it was. Well, I will do it again. So let's have a look. So, okay. So here you can select the guess space. So the space it will use to guess what type of the locals are. What are the types? So if I put all, it will detect, it will use a tree, and the first fit will be the one used. So I put all. So then you can see this one has been detected. It was not detected before here. You know, it is an unknown. But if you put this all, then it is detected as something like an array, you know. So it is also selected here. You can see it is an array, text array. This one is not detected, so I can just say it's text. And this one is already defined. You know, it is somewhere in the method. Yes, var VL bit button. VL button is there. So now I can just define. So for string, he proposed me to rename based on this naming convention. So I can say rename. So everything is good. I just have to save Command S or click on it. So if you will see here, the two errors will disappear. No, sorry, this is in method locals. Yeah, no, yeah, this one. Look, tuck, save, no more undefined. Everything is good. This one will be probably more difficult because it's a big method. And something is very interesting about this. You have a conflict on two names. I'll show you. First of all, everything, this one is not defined. It is not, you know, everything is undefined here, the red. But it's pre-typed based on the name. So plenty of pre-type are there. You have to check it. But this one is not guessed. You know, there is color SVG, doesn't know. So if I click here, I will see where it is used. So it is a text, obviously. So I can click on text. Or I can click here also and select text. Then this one, cramoisi, it's 0. I think it's a longint. And so on. Yeah, everything is defined. So now I can just put Command D. Okay, all your definition for your type definition has been made. Then he proposed to rename in blue what has to be renamed to follow this naming space convention. This is a Jenny solution I used. I learned this naming convention with them, and I appreciate it a lot. So then I implemented in it. So,
and you're able to set the naming convention. Is that a regex, or are you able to change the naming convention?
No, because it is hardwired. It's too sophisticated. But you can add your favorite. You know, if something is not automatically detected, you can decide this one I want. It is automatic. I use a lot like left, $right, $top, $bottom. You can say detect it as a longint.
Okay.
That's cool. Do you have control over, like, for example, I use the postfix naming convention.
Yeah.
So I use variable name underscore T for text.
It is implemented. I'll show you.
Can you change the what letters are used? So for example, like an image, a picture might be an I, or it might be a P. Can you control that, or do you have to actually go into code and modify the code to change those?
Yeah, I can change. I just have three for now. I just have three naming space. One is prefix for Jenny solution, like. One is postfix, like Arnaud de Montard, like French guy. And one is a prefix also with another kind of convention, is Vincent Delachaux, VDL. So when you open Vincent Delachaux, I'll show you right now if you want. I open a 4D pop software. Everything is well named in Vincent Delachaux way of naming. And I can rename in one click, batch, and everything is my own, and then convert it back to Vincent Delachaux once work done.
Oh, wow.
It works.
That's
crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I will show you, just finish I want to rename something very important. For the declare, you can't declare or type in a batch, because, you know, if something is not properly defined, like here, you know, who knows? It guess it is an object. But if it is not, it's a miss. So I can't have an automatic system for that. But for the renaming, I'll show you. This is very important. So let's declare what you can declare. This one was a text, and this one was a longint. Yeah. Let's declare everything. Okay. So now if I want to rename following this convention, you will see a red alert for is okay. a not read alert for is okay. Why? Because this was originally is okay, doesn't change, but it was okay only. And this okay is proposed is okay. So if I allow this kind of conflict of collision, it will be a really bad collision. So it means you don't know what your database will do after that. So it is totally blocked. So if I try to rename, everything will be renamed but the collision. So that's why you can do this treatment also in a batch. If two names are going to the same name, then they will be kept on the same state, not renamed. So there is another one here. Yeah, PTR and VP is all VP, proposed both for VP. And AG and DTT and AG and DTT, T and DTT, AG and DTT. Okay. So now if I try to rename everything, everything is renamed, everything is green, but is okay. And you will see VP and VP still keep the same name. It's not renamed. And at the end also identity and T-identity are still renamed. So now I'm still able to, if I change, nothing is saved. You know, it's working out of the method. So now if I click here, then it will be saved and you will see the 40 number I can see on 39. If I click it, tuck, there is just 4 unnamed. Only 4 variables he proposed to rename to a new name. So what can I do? I can probably just click on it and add identity 1, or have a look in the code if they are the same, I don't know. But if I put identity 1, there is no more conflict. Is okay, this one will be is okay 1. Yeah. And that's all now. Here also, VP on one of the 2 will be VP1. Okay, there is no more conflict.
Is it also possible to check syntax as you're making these changes?
What do you mean, syntax?
Check syntax to check the compile, check if there's any compiler errors.
No, you check
No.
it after. Yeah.
Okay.
Something to be introduced by 4D to be able to to compile offline, kind of, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
to get, you know, how do you say?
The report, the results.
The report, yeah.
Yeah.
And in fact, we are, you know, about QST toolbox. Now it's tools to make more deeper introspection into code. And we are working with Patrick Emmanuel. We are working to propose, to propose a version on all these components in 6 months, 1 year will be fully integrated also to have a bigger product.
Cool. Wow.
So, and he's doing this kind of job to work with compiler with it. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's under process. So, but there is plenty of OKI 2, OKI 3, so that's why. But okay, 49, yeah, there is no more red dot. So now I can rename and everything is okay. There is nothing. Yeah, why? It's in form again. Oh yeah. No, that one has not been done. I don't know why. But okay, let's go further, but that's the principle. It means the idea is you're able to rename without any conflict.
Mm-hmm.
Then, so here you can work like this. So you can display your method here. So it is fully, so then when you click, you can see in the color based on if that's to be renamed blue, green, and if it is not used. So you will see the line, or you can display local matches, method matches, or you see the method and it is in it, colored. You will see the color. I don't know which line it is. So usually I use this mode to get where it is used and to decide how can I behave. Okay, so if you right click on it, you can also open the command for this method. Same, I can update, put commands, save or not, and there are some copy method content, method commands, and copy method le pass. Voilà, that's all. I think we have seen what you can do with it. Yeah, this is interface. So if I want to rename, for example, here, I can select you can see plenty of rename methods that had to be renamed. So I can do rename. It proposes the gay spaces whole. Yeah. And it will be renamed in this target. So let's do it in a batch. Yeah. So that's the demo effect. I don't know why. Okay.
Well, this tool is obviously very powerful for databases that have been either worked on by different developers or databases that are old and you've inherited who had a different style or no style at all, which sometimes sadly that does exist out there.
Yeah.
And the maintenance costs can be dramatically reduced if you add this kind of uniformity to the code style, and that can really pay for the tool in itself, making it easier on the eyes to work with the code.
I'll show you to convert. Perhaps I can show you now. To convert a 4D pop master. So I open it. I put in it all the components for that. So that is they are there. Okay. So then if I go to why there is no, I don't know why. I don't know why I don't see any palette. Oh, yeah, it's there. It's because it is black. Ah, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, for the pop, it's still there because there is some automatic enabled in properties, security, execute method on event. Yeah, so 4D pop opened and also OG pop. So that's why. This one needs to be closed. Yeah. Okay. So this is, I have in 4D pop itself, the original from VDL. If I go to method locals, so you will see all the methods, end of analyze, finish, and you will see plenty of proposal for renaming, So this is, I will say it works from VDL. So VDL is TXT and TriPoint, TXT format. So I want to convert to my OGS Genie solution also in VT and TriPoint or on someone. You will have VL for longhand, VP for pointer, and so on. So if I want to convert, I just select everything. So let's do it for one. From here. Yeah, everything is converted. So then convert to probably something else from Arnaud de yeah. It's a post prefix. You were speaking about it, about post prefix. So L for longhand, O for object, and so on. So same, I can rename. Everything is renamed. Okay. So if I want to translate all of this for all the methods, I just have to do rename. Supposed to, something is wrong right now. Yeah, something has changed. Sorry, it's a bug demonstration. I will have to correct it because it doesn't change anything. I know why. I changed the menu order, so I know why. Okay, but it's supposed to rename everything.
Well, if there's one thing that's very difficult to get all the 4D programmers to agree on, it's the style of variable naming.
Yeah.
And so with this, you can switch between it in the same application on the fly.
You have a memory of this inside. You have the OGS system. What is a variable? How it is defined? Picture is O, object is G. That's a Genie solution convention. Then you have for class and for array. Then this is a VDL convention. You recognize blow for blob, boo for Boolean, and so on. An array also with a T added. Then this is Arnaud de Montard. So it is postfix, and it is X for blob, B for Boolean, and so on. So this is just a reminder, if you want to just have a look on it. So that's all for the locals. For the documentation, because it's beginning to be late, for the documentation, you have the same kind of interface with all the methods, project, trigger, everything. So if I choose, yeah, there is no documentation. So let's have a automatic method, magic jog generator, clear and add. Puff. Yeah, finish. So this one has been automatically generated. You can select what kind of tag you want. Your HTML comment is for to have a preview in the method editor itself. This is for the method pass, to display the method pass here. This is for the call. How do you call? You know, pass equal pass colon text equal for the probability folder with, you know, with a variable he found inside the definition. This is the parameters list. The description, you can change it, and it is kept even if you update. You have an example, you can change a report, complexity, and the line, and all the names, the locals inside this method, and what a description you can change, and it will remain even if you update later. Suppose you have the same variable name for sure, because it will compare, okay, dollar folder is there, so description is there, so I keep it, and then I put it back again.
That's
so you have the
nice, yeah.
So here, you know, I can type, and in real time, you will see on the right what you type here. Okay, so if you decide to regenerate, just update, you will see, suppose, yeah, it is still there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so if you add a variable, you will have one more variable. I can do it. Let's save it, open it, put one more variable like, Protée new var. Okay, so here if I regenerate it, update, yeah, I have a Protée new var, and this is still there.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's really important. And what is important, and then this method, you can decide to, for a batch selection, you will, as for one by one, you will decide to lock. This one, I work on it. I don't want to generate it again. So that's all. Well, I don't go further for this. That's in principle. Then you will see method component documentation. That's very powerful. All the components installed in your product. So here I have this ODG tool, OG Qualific, OG Make. I will go to OG Make. No, perhaps I will go to OG Qualific. Yeah. So inside this component, you will see all what is defined as a documentation, MD file. So we click on it and you have the doc. You can't modify. It's just, you know, for documentation. So then you have on your click, on your 4D pop accessible on your fingertip, the documentation of all installed components. Whatever the component, if you generate the doc, you can read it. So it's there. You have a list of the parameters, how you call this method, to call this method. For example, in OG Qualific, I told you it's a library also. So when you want to play a sound, the works sound play, you just have to put the sound name. But you can also ask get files, sounds get file, you will get a collection. And I have to finish, to put some more comments, but you will get a collection with all the sounds embedded in OG Qualific. So then from this collection, you can select one. You can play a random sound, so it's optional. So the documentation I've put, you know, optional, because inside the method, I added this in comment to the DS declare. If you had DS1, means the first parameter is optional. So that's why I can know, because I have no way to know what is optional with DS declare. So that's for the documentation. And to finish, I have a code snippers. So that's very powerful too. You know, I am on the method, so it detects it is a method. But if I open some method class, yeah, for example, if I open a class, then you will see another color. It detects the class. So it proposes here all your snippets you define for, example, this one command block. It defined it for everything like methods, class, method object, form method, database method, trigger. That's all. This is, yeah, some, you can put some icon. You want to make a top cursor or bottom of insert mode if you double click, but it's not very interesting because usually I just use drag and drop. So that's a command block.
So the different choices makes different groups of
yeah, exactly. If I change, you know, it changes a method in it.
That's fancy. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah. So then you can add, duplicate, edit, delete. I have to select one. So I can add, duplicate, edit, delete, copy snippet, send snippet to DB start, you know, so the front window. So what's more, I can also right click on it, same. And what is very important, if I go back to another database, this one, so then I have the same. So what I had in one will be on the other.
Oh, that's
so
nice.
if I go here, yeah, I think if I take it, I'm not sure, no, I can't do that, but I can do this, add, this, then I can take it. Oh, yeah, I'll take this. Or just, you know, just a part of it, this one, drag and drop, finish, and I can say it is for that. The name will be new snippets 30. I save, and if the other database, new is supposed to be here. Yeah, it's there. So I'm able to edit from everywhere. So it's a huge copy and paste between databases also. Yeah.
That's handy.
Yeah, important.
Yeah.
And it's very important when you want to copy serials, things like that. You know. So I think I'm almost done.
Yeah.
You have a form search. The form search is useful because it will search. Let's have a look. It will search, you know, based on the component vidget name. Because 4D is not able to find a vidget name, but only on the name in the instance in the main form. But if you want to find all occurrence of a vidget you put on your forms, you are not able to find it. Here I'm able to do it. And yeah, let's finish now. I don't know.
That was a lot. Yeah, this there's a
the
lot
other
of
is no interest.
functionality.
Yeah, no interest. The rest is just very little things. And there is a good, I think, well-made documentation for this component.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. That was there's a lot to show there, and a lot of great functionality packed into the you know into the component. Now, how much do you charge for OG Dev Tools?
I think it is on the website, and it is a yearly subscription. And yeah, I have to go to the site. It depends. In fact, there are plenty of contributions. You can be how do you say? You can buy one attached to your 4D serial. You can have one attached to a company name. You can have one attached to like OEM and so on. So it's better to, yeah, everything is detailed on the site.
Okay.
And also, let's just have a quick look on OGMake. So here I have on my database, I use, you know, to show you the beginning of this, the methods and so on. So I will compile it with OGMake. So then it will zip the source. To get a zip, it will name it will add, you know, year, month, day, month, day, then a source, okay, to have an archive. Then it copies the source, it resolves aliases. That's good for how do I project, because for me, it is an alias, all my components. But when I will use it, it will create something with a copy, a real copy, not aliases. Then copy original. Notary tool, so it will ditto, but dit image, you can zip, you can package. And then for the copied source, then you can notarize, tuple, and ditto. So let's do it, and you have a sound at the end, all the sound, you know, available in, you know, Gmake. So let's just click. So no, notarizing, signing, creating the DMG. So then it will be, yeah. So then it's send conducting, submission ID received. So the uploading is in progress. Successfully uploaded file. So then we are waiting here. So now I'm reading the status. So there is it's not a real progress. I don't know how long it will take. So that's why it's a reverse progress.
Mhm. Sure.
Do you remember how much just this part of the component is, the make part?
Well, this is a separate component.
This is a separate component.
Can you get, and you can get this separately from the other things?
Yeah, it's a separate component.
Okay,
In the chat, Tim.
Yeah. Sorry?
but I didn't know if you remember what the price was.
Oh, for the price.
In the
You
chat,
want
Tim.
Oh,
Yeah,
Tim, thank you.
yeah. Okay, so I will show you, just waiting for the end. It will be very fast. Yeah, finished. The disk image, staple, all done, and bing, I have a sound. Finish. So if I go on this project, that is what has been created, a notary log here, decision. Then you have the disk image. It is notarized inside. That is what has been notarized. This was a copy just internally to be able to create the disk image. This is a source, no, sorry. This is a source copy to put in your, somewhere, you know, date with version and source. So it is fully source zip for archive. And that's all. This is my database original project. So that is been generated, this folder, this one will was one click. So you can use this with a right click. I can use this for databases. So I can generate monopost, compiler, component, client, server, all in one. It nice. Analyze also the, you know, the, what's the name of this? Generate, you know, this one. Oh, sorry, this is not possible. So it analyzes your XML based for your build file.
Oh,
so if there is no server option for compile and build, you won't be able to check the option. So let's see it for database. Database is the bigger one. You have all the options. You know, I'm not able to click here. Only for build compile because it's not a component, it's not a monopost. So you just have to install in your keychain, you know, you put your Apple ID. You have to put a keychain al tool, so generate your al tool, and you just have to generate a notary tool in your keychain, and that's all. This is saved. So it's a use of pref files, so it is saved.
Nice. Now that can be a real headache, jumping through all the hoops to do this for each release. Yeah, that's why. You know, to dig the complexity. Right.
That's
no, it's nice too.
I have a question about licensing.
Yeah. Okay.
The development monopost single developer license is attached to a 4D serial number.
It can be whatever you want. Usually for the monopost, it attached to a serial number because you will generate runtime. No.
I was just asking because if you are in the partner program and each year you get new codes,
yes.
you know,
right.
Do I have to re-get a new code from you each time I get a new code from 4D every stupid year?
That's true. I'm not sure it changes every year. In fact, it is attached to the serial 4D gives to you. Sorry, for the code you ask 4D, what code is it? But it's not the same as your license key.
Okay, so it doesn't have to get updated every year. It's a one time.
No, only when you change for V19 to V20, it changes.
Oh.
It changes, yeah.
So when there's a major version change, then there'll be a price. Or does that come with the yearly maintenance? If you're paying maintenance yearly?
If you have a new version, the internal 4D code will change, so you will have to have a new key. But you can also ask for a company name key, so then it will be attached to the company name. That's a possibility, so it doesn't change anymore in future. Yeah. So we have seen almost everything.
Hey.
Yeah, I think we have to stop. Huh?
Yeah, that was a lot, but there's a lot of functionality packed in there.
I was supposed to have something more quick.
Well, it's it's okay. We thank everybody for who's stayed and watched live, but once it gets on YouTube, there is a slider bar, and you can pause and come back to it whenever you want to. So it's okay. What's most important is that it's been demonstrated, and there's a lot to show. Yeah. So thank you very much. Is there any other additional questions from everyone? There is a forum post on discuss.4D dedicated to this, and obviously you've got Olivier's email there, so you can reach out directly.
And you have also a link, you added today, Brent, with a link to this OG tool suite HDI. And this is interesting because all the components are inside, and you can use a component for deployment, for development, for everything in it, and your code is available. So
the link to the HDI, the how do I, and the slides are all on the 4DMethod post. And so anyways, well, thank you so much. That was a real powerhouse of features that you demonstrated there, and it would be interesting to see how it all worked under the hood, but maybe that'll be for next time.
Exactly. Thank you so much also to have been there.
Yes, absolutely. All right.
It is Summit, no?
Yes, again. We'll hope to see everybody in Atlanta. Sorry I won't be able to see you all in Paris, but that would be nice as well. It's gonna share my screen here again. And then we'll close it on out. Great. Well, thank you so much. That was fantastic, and it looks like there's a lot left to show with your other tools. So I invite you back to show off some of your other great work. I know that there's a lot of sometimes it can seem insurmountable. It can be very difficult to deal with old databases and to get them to a point where you can actually add value instead of just wrestling with old naming conventions and formats and that kind of thing. So thank you so much, and thanks to everyone at 4D and everyone here for watching the demo and for taking part in the user group. All of the other questions can be directed to either directly to Olivier or on discuss.4D. You can always also support the user group through Patreon, as I mentioned earlier. Otherwise, we'll hope to see you all at the 4D Summit.
Indeed. Thank you, Brent. Thank you, Olivier.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we are the brave people, you know, staying till the last minute.
Yeah, so all right. Well, thanks again, and we'll see you at least if not at the summit, the next 4D method. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop recording.